NBA playoffs. We also have an MLB parlay for you. I've got a best bet in each of those matchups. It is Friday. Happy Friday. This is the free three. Let's get into it for this May the 10th card. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video where I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day as we just try to get to the bag together and make some money. Well, guess what, guys? We had our third sweep of the week last night, but not the sweep that we wanted. We had a full reverse, full fade sweep. 0-4 on the day. Really heartbreaking losses. We lost on Jason Tatum rebounds, 5 in the first quarter, 7 in the third quarter. Finished with 7. I mean, it didn't help that the Cavaliers didn't miss a shot, but hey, it happens. Lucas Points also lost on that one. He finished with 29. He had 16 in the first quarter. Again, I thought we were on the path there, and then he let us down late. Didn't end up scoring the ball much in the second half. Cards first 5, didn't get it done. Sonny Gray didn't come out with good form. Gave up a lot of sharp contact early. They had bases loaded in the top of the 5th inning with their number 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming up and 0 outs. So you know what they did? Scored 0 runs. Nothing you can do much about that. And then we also lose on the lay, as that was a full fade lay. Yankees and Astros actually ended up going under 7.5 of the game, actually landed on 7. And then the Thunder lost outright. So tough day yesterday, 0-4. We knew a little bit of regression was due after this torrid start to the month of May, but it's okay. We're going to bounce back today. I've got 3 best bets on the card for you. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So don't worry, guys. We're still up on the week very heavily. So sorry for the one bad day thus far. Hopefully we can turn the ship around today, and let's dive into these best bets. Smash that subscribe button and share this with somebody who knows a sports betting fan so we can continue to crush the sports books together. For my first best bet of the day, let's head to the Knicks and Pacers matchup. And this is a game, guys, whereas obviously I'm a Knicks fan this postseason. I'm rooting for the Knicks hard. I love Jalen Brunson. This is a very hard game for me to back them here. Obviously, the line's already moving heavily favored towards the Pacers, not only because they need to win this game being down 0-2 in the series, and they're also at home, but the injury news for the Knicks is just more and more concerning. Continues to pile up. OG Anunoby now ruled out for games 3 and 4 with that hamstring injury. So they're already a depleted team with no Bogdanovich, with no Mitchell Robinson, obviously no Julius Randle. Now they're even lighter. So the thing is, who's going to come off the bench for this Knicks team? Who are they going to dust off? Maybe Alex Burks gets some more playing time. Maybe Miles McBride. We got Precious Achiuwa who can see some more minutes. I don't know. But one person that I do know that's been hooping the series, and not necessarily on the Knicks, it's actually on the Pacers. And I believe that he should be getting more minutes in today's game because he's the only guy thus far who's been able to handle Jalen Brunson. And he's also been doing amazing things on the offensive end. So we're going to go with TJ McConnell over 16.5 points and assists, minus 125 odds. Now, TJ McCollum's been on an absolute tear thus far this postseason, and he's been hooping really well. Now, I'm not always a big fan of taking bench players because they always don't get the minutes that you want to see. But over the last 3 games, including dating back to the last game against the Bucks, he's averaging over 22 points per game. So that's a pretty decent sample size. Obviously, we would love more minutes, but I think today's game might be the game where he gets more minutes, especially if Jalen Brunson is cooking them hard like he's been doing all series. So for me, TJ McCollum's also been really potent in that second unit offense for the Pacers. He's been dictating the pace of play. He's been dishing and diming. Last game, he finished with 12 assists. He's getting to the middle of the lane. He's hitting his mid-range jump shots. He's getting floaters, and that's why he had 10 points last game, 18 points in game 1, and then he also actually had 20 points in the closeout game against the Bucks as well. That to go with 9 assists. So we've seen him go over this combo pair in the last 3 straight games where he's played significant minutes, and that's what I'm expecting for him today. I also personally think that this game has some blowout potential as well for the Pacers. So if they're able to get out quick and early, put the Knicks to sleep, we never know. Obviously, Thibs is going to play his guys until basically the last straw. But if this is like a 10, 15, 20-point game with about 4 minutes left to go, that could mean extra minutes for McConnell, as then obviously the starters might be pulled. And I think McConnell today should be able to score, should also be able to dime and pass the ball pretty well. And I think the fact that he's doing so well on Brunson should mean some more playing time. We've heard the media talk about it. We've heard everybody speak about it. So it's not that thing now. If Rick Carlisle just wants to do what he wants to do, that's completely different. But obviously, TJ McConnell is the better player right now in this series to go against Brunson, and he's playing with the energy, and I'm taking the combo square, so this way we can just get a little bit of insurance just in case he dishes and dimes a lot like he did last game, or he scores more like he did in game 1. 1. So give me TJ McCollum over 16.5 points and assists, first best bet of the day. Now for my second best bet of the day, it's also in that Pacers and Knicks matchup, and it's very similar to what I just mentioned. I think the Pacers have blowout potential. I do think they have the opportunity to cover the 7-point spread. We also do have a high total in this one, over 220 points. We've seen both of these games go incredibly over the total, and I'm going to keep leaning towards the total. And because of that, I'm going to go with the Pacers here. I'm going to go with their team total over 114.5, minus 120 odds. Now, typically, we've been taking the totals in the first half because I like the team totals in the first half. But this game, it's at like 59.5. I'm necessarily not going to lay that because, 60 points in the first half is like a regular season line. Obviously, it's the playoffs. Anything can happen. Obviously, both of these teams are a little bit more offensive-minded, but I do want to keep it right now just in case the Pacers do pick up the pace of play in the second half. We get the full game to work with here. There's no doubt in my mind that the Pacers will be able to score this amount of points because they've been able to go over this total for the first two games. They dropped 117 in game 1. They dropped 121 in game 2. Now they're at home in a place that they actually play faster, in a place that they actually shoot better, in a place that they actually score more points per game. And also keep in mind that OG Anunoby is a big defensive person who's missing for them, not including Mitchell Robinson. So Anunoby was a big catalyst in slowing down Pascal Siakam. With him not playing now, Precious Achiuwa, he's not as strong defensively and is not as strong on the boards. And I think that's going to pay dividends here. And obviously, it's a must-win game for the Pacers. They're going to have a rocking home arena there. Indiana's one of the toughest places to play, especially come postseason time. So for me, I think this is going to be a game where the Pacers are going to be able to win this matchup. And I think they're going to be able to dictate their offense and flow here, score over 115 points. The only reason I don't want to take the full game over is just in case it is blowout potential and the Knicks end up scoring like 90 points or something because they just can't keep up offensively or this one gets out of hand early. But even if it does get out of hand, I do think the Pacers continue to push the ball, continue to try to score buckets because that's what they do. They're not looking to play any defense. So give me the team total over 114.5 as our second best bet of the day. For my third best bet of the day, let's head over to the Wolves and Nuggets matchup. And this is a series where I'm interested to see what the Nuggets do today. They cannot afford to go down 0-3 in here, and they have to go on the road to a very tough place to play in Minnesota at the Target Center. And I just don't know if they have the shot, right? Maybe the rest might help them out a little bit now that Jokic won the MVP, now that everybody saw Jamal Murray throw his fits. I don't know. But one thing I do know is thus far in this series, they are letting them play. They're letting them play physical. I love to see that. And hopefully that keeps up again today. And if that's the case, I am going to bank on the defense to be the name of the game here over offense. And because of that, we're going to go with the Wolves Nuggets under 205.5, minus 120 odds. Now, both of these teams actually have gone under in the first two games of this series. So that's a reason why I do like the under. We're actually getting a little bit of a better number here than what it opened up at. It opened up around like 203, 204. So we're getting a little bit of value here. So I do like that. Buy the hook if your book has it at 205. The first two games of this series opened up around 209, and both of those games went under. So obviously this is a little bit cheaper, but I do think that this game can go under as well, considering that both of these teams are under teams on the year. Now for the Nuggets on the year, they're 15-25 to the under on the road. Meanwhile, the Wolves are 18-22 to the under at home. So again, trends this year have said these two teams are under teams. We've seen thus far in the playoffs that they are all playing more defensively. Both of these teams are. That we saw two low-scoring games in Game 1 and Game 2. There's no reason why I don't think that we should see the same thing again today, especially with Rudy Gobert coming back, 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. That should also help out the Wolves as well defensively. I just don't know if the Nuggets have figured it out offensively. I don't know if they know how to crack the code. I do know that the duo with Na and Order, as they're calling them now, are locking it down with McDaniels, Alexander Walker, and obviously Anthony Edwards coming from the weak side for steals. It's just a great defensive team that we're seeing right now with the Timberwolves. Until I see the Nuggets really be able to crack the code, I think that this is just going to be more of a lower scoring series. And as long as we continue to get this number around this 200 to 210 mark, I think that it can go underneath that. I think this is a game that finishes easily in 102 to 95, something like that. So go under this 200 to bring us under this 205 total. So I'm not overthinking it. First two games went under. It looks like it's going to be a defensive series. And most times the games typically tend to go over in Denver because they're trying to take advantage of the altitude. So to see that go under, and now you're going to a place where the Wolves have historically been an under team thus far, that for me is going to convince me to take the under here. So don't overthink it. Under 205.5 as our third pick of the day. For my final best bet, we're going to go to the baseball card. We're going to go to a little money line parlay here, a little two-team steam. And we're going to go with the Phillies on the money line, parlay that with the Dodgers on the money line. That gets gets you now to plus 125 odds. Now, both of these teams are two big favorites on the cards, but rightfully so. Phillies have been one of the most profitable teams in baseball thus far this year, and especially over the last month, as we've seen them pick up win after win after win after win. They were even covering the run line on the majority of their games as well, which you love to see. Now, in this matchup, they are taking on the Marlins, and the Marlins have struggled away from home. 5-15 on the year at home, so not too good. But we got Ranger Suarez on the mound for the Phillies. That's why I love them here. 6-0 on the year with a 1.72 ERA. Right now, he's one of the leading candidates for the NL Cy Young Award winner, and that's why, because of the way he's pitching. Meanwhile, the Marlins are sending Tanner Rogers to the mound, 0-5, 6.15 ERA. Their offense has been struggling. Phillies have the much better offense right now, much better pitcher on the mound. Don't overthink it. Take the Phillies. Meanwhile, the Dodgers are taking on the Padres, and this is just another guy who's also in the NL Cy Young Award, and that's Tyler Glasnow, who's on the mound for the Dodgers. 6-1 on the year, 2.7 ERA. Meanwhile, the Padres are sending Michael King to the mound, who's 3-3 on the year at the 4.29 ERA. If Glasnow is missing his spots, he's walking a lot of batters. The Padres definitely do have the offense to exploit him, but for me, it's just very hard to go with Michael King here, who's just been very inconsistent. Before his last start against the D-backs, he had gone back-to-back starts against the Phillies and the Rockies, where he gave up a combined 12 runs in both of those starts. I'm not a big fan of that, and he also faced this Dodgers team earlier back on April the 12th. 5 innings, 6 hits, 7 runs that he gave up to go with 4 home runs. That ain't going to get it done. This Dodgers team is absolutely crushing right-handed pitching right now, so I expect them to pick up the win. If you want to look at a few other teams that you can throw in there, I do like all the big favorites today. I like the Red Sox. I like the Braves. Those are a few other teams that you could toss in there today, as I do think they're going to get it done on the money line. But let's just get Phillies, Dodgers money line, Bozo Pack to wrap us up for the night. Well, that's it for me today, my friends. 4 best bets that are coming your way. 3 inside the NBA with TJ McCollum over 16.5 points and assists. Also with the Pacers team total over 114.5. Then we're going to take the under in the Nuggets and Wolves matchup. And then finally, we're going to wrap this thing up with a Bozo Pack with the Phillies and the Dodgers on the money line. Don't overthink it parlay to tuck us in for the night. Hopefully, we can turn the card around, have another sweep, but just the other type of sweep today. And we can celebrate a winning card and finish off an amazing week here on the DIYF Bets channel. Appreciate all the love and support. Cash that money, get to that cheddar, and I'll see you on tomorrow's video. Later, gang.